Hey gang, Robert here. I know none of you have ever heard my voice before because I have not had time to produce videos on my channel yet that are not AI related. I spend all my time working a real job during the week, and I research the rest of the time, and I do AI reading of my scripts because I simply don't have time to get into the studio to do that kind of thing. Usually if I'm in the studio, it's trying to finish up my band's album. But I have about 3 or 4 different announcements to make that are going to be changes for the YouTube channel. One, if you haven't figured it out, is that I'm going to be using my voice from now on. I've just had too many people request it, too many, including my wife. She said I should just start using my voice, even if it takes more time. She said that it would be better if you just used your own voice, and for visuals, use less. People don't need to see as many. They just want to see visuals for things that are complicated that cannot be expressed properly in words. For instance, on my flat earth video, it is difficult to get across the concept of the sun and the moon and their circuit around the clock of the earth and how they kind of go up and down, but in a figure 8 over throughout the course of the year for the seasons and so on. I mean, I can describe that all day long, but it's better to also have a visual representation of it. Anyway, I hope you like the voice thing and the fact that I'm going to be using my own voice. I suppose it is better than AI. I don't always like listening to AI either. Sometimes it drives me nuts, but as long as the information being presented is good, and I do try to present to you good information. And so what we're going to start doing is in January, not at the very beginning of January, but at some point in January, we are going to go ahead and start doing a podcast that will be released every Monday, once a week. That will be, roughly a full hour long, where we're discussing subjects related to the seed war. And I may or may not have guests on. I would like to do interviews. It doesn't have to be famous people. If you want to be a part of my program because you know things about the seed war and you have good information you'd like to share, feel free to drop me a message, and I'll send you my email, and we can talk about putting you on as a guest to interview. I have no problem with that. But also what we're going to be doing is I'm going to try to be giving debriefs every week about what's going on in the world and how it's related to the past in the seed war also. Because what is the point, really, of discussing ancient history, ancient events, and all the weird, crazy information you just can't find out there in normal media because they don't really want you to know about it if it's not applicable today in any way, shape, or form. See, that is the goal of my channel, is to take this information, show you the foundations of this seed war, where it started, how it started, all of this information going back to the pre-flood antediluvian world and throughout history, and showing you how they're doing the same thing today. They all live among you, like Hebrews says. The book of Hebrews talks about always being careful about entertaining strangers, because you might be entertaining an angel and not even be aware of it. Well, don't you suppose that's also true of the rebellious angels? You have no idea if the thing that you're speaking to in any given moment is human or not. Just like they didn't necessarily know way back in the day. Yes, there does seem to be something different about them, which is why they're probably in their own elite little club of rich stars, rulers, and so on and so forth. But either way, it's clear they're very active today, probably more so than ever, but also more downplayed than ever. It's like nobody's aware of this stuff. The churches have completely and utterly failed us in this regard by teaching things like the sons of Seth theory and completely demystifying the Bible to where there's no real miraculous spiritual aspect to it or a spirit world at all. And yet when you read scripture, it's clear it's there, absolutely clear that it's there in every page. The Old Testament, the New Testament, all of it, it's all throughout there, and it deals specifically and primarily with this subject of the seed war. So we're going to be doing the podcast in January, and we're going to be doing the debriefing, and I'll still be making posts too that you can just read if you want to. But those are three of the major changes that'll be going on. So from now on, you'll be hearing my voice. Some of you may or may not like it. Doesn't matter. That's the way it's going to be. It's going to be my voice. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. I would like to also say that I don't know everything. So I put what I do know in my videos. And if you have good information that adds to it, that's awesome. Or if you want to challenge it, I'm perfectly fine. As you can see from the comments section, I love having a back and forth and discussing things. If I think you're wrong, I'll point out where you're wrong. And if I think you're right about something, I will also say, hey, you're probably right about that. And I've certainly had people change my mind before on certain subjects. So feel free to comment. I try to always be polite and listen to what you have to say. If you start getting rude, start using foul language, or start mistreating me or other people in the platform by personally attacking them rather than, presenting good information, I will eventually just kick you off of there and block you, because that's not productive for anybody, and nobody needs to be stroking your ego or, adding to your endorphins that you get off on arguing with people online. So if you want to have a good discussion, great. If you just want to be a douchebag and insult people, I'll kick you right to the curb and not even think about it. And so one of the things I wanted to let you know is that the reason we haven't had a chance to post anything lately is this is at work. It is our busiest time of the year, as it is for a lot of people, and it's just been a struggle to find the time to be able to combine studying, writing, reading, getting my script prepared, and then finding time to input that into an AI voice reader and imagery and things like that. And quite frankly, it gets pretty tiring trying to put some of this stuff together and matching images to what I'm saying, or video. It's a lot more challenging than you think, and very time consuming. So it's going to be probably more info from my voice. Perhaps I will put something in there for the dialogue. So if you want to reference the text in there, outside of closed captioning, I'll probably put, if I can find time to do this, everything in a text format for you to read through. If you need to go back and reference something and you don't want to have to go back and search through it through the video, I'll try to get to that as well. But hopefully this will be a lot more fun, a lot more interesting, and you won't have to listen to any more annoying AI voice. Sorry, it was the only thing I could use at the time. I'm still growing my channel. As you can see, I don't even have 30,000 subscribers yet, but subscribe, please. Need your support. I would eventually like to retire from my job and do this for a living and provide even better information for you, dig even further, and get even more stuff out there so that we can wake people up. That's what it's all about, is waking people up so they're not deceived, because we all know there's a great deception coming up. I don't want people to be a part of it. I don't want people to be deceived into worshiping this replacement Messiah that will fool everybody into thinking they're Jesus, or some sort of messianic figure. So, help out our channel any way you can by sharing it, liking it, commenting on it, anything you can do. I'm not monetized yet, and I don't really want to focus on this being a financial thing. I would rather just produce content for you all to be able to comment on, share, like, and so on. So with all that being said, I will let you all go. Godspeed. And coming up, our next video that we're producing is going to be on the whole birth of Jesus and paganism and all that. Frankly, I don't think you should ever feel guilty about celebrating Christmas, and I'm going to tell you why in our upcoming video. Later, gang.